If you want a holiday season with less stress, less pressure, and more peace, the kind that actually fits the life you're living now, you're in exactly the right place. I'm 52, my kids are grown, and we've got 3 grandbabies who think my husband, they call him Grumpy, is their favorite man on the planet. And honestly, what I want this year is simple. Slow days, fun moments, and things like baking his favorite cookies with the grandkids, not rushing overspending or trying to jam every tradition into a single month. I want a holiday that actually reflects what matters to me now. But there's one realization I had while planning this season that completely changed how I'm approaching December. And I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Hi, my friend. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. I'm the owner of FrozenPennies.com. I'm a financial coach and the author of the best-selling book, Fundamentally Frugal. I'll leave a link below. So with all of that in my heart, I sat down the other day and asked myself a simple question. What actually makes the holidays feel good in this season of my life? Not perfect, not impressive, just good, just meaningful. And the moment I asked that, the answers started pouring out. Because I think once you hit a certain age, once your kids are grown, and once you've lived life, you finally get honest with yourself about what matters and what doesn't. For me, the holidays aren't about doing all the things. They're about choosing the right things. The things that let me feel present, not pressured, connected, and not overwhelmed, because I get overwhelmed very easily. And honestly, I would love to hear in the comments what you're prioritizing this year too, because this really is my favorite time of the year, and I know I'm not the only one craving something similar. So let's start with the first no, because this is the one I slipped into year after year without even realizing how much pressure it created. No to gift cards people won't use. For years, gift cards were my easy button, quick, convenient, done. But you know what I started to notice? A lot of people don't actually use them. I've watched friends and read comments on past YouTube videos where people find them months later in a purse they forgot about. I've seen relatives pull them out of junk drawers in July, and suddenly that easy gift becomes another task for them. One more thing to keep track of during an already overwhelming season. This year, I'm giving only what I know will be used and enjoyed. Things like consumables, shared experiences, or something someone specifically mentioned. Even money. No more handing over tiny rectangles of responsibility disguised as presents. It feels good to give something that actually fits someone's life instead of putting on more to-dos. And honestly, it takes the pressure off me too. Gifts shouldn't feel like homework for anyone. And once I admitted that even easy gifts can turn into tiny stressors, it made me look at other habits I take on every December without questioning them. Especially the way I suddenly start grocery shopping like I'm prepping for a food shortage. No to the December pantry dump. Every December, without fail, I convince myself I need to stock up, like the holidays are some sort of survival event. Suddenly, my grocery cart is full of cranberries, and I don't even like cranberries, specialty crackers, 3 fancy cheeses, and ingredients for recipes I absolutely do not make any other month of the year. It's like a festive version of peer pressure. But when I really think about it, my pantry and freezer already have more than enough to get us through December. I don't need a cart full of holiday food to have a holiday feeling. I don't need to buy ingredients for an imaginary version of myself who has endless time and energy. This year, I'm keeping it simple. I'm using what I already have, planning around what's in my freezer, and letting go of the idea that December needs to look like a super fancy Food Network special. And simplifying my December grocery habits made me notice something else. All the unnecessary gifts I'd been buying just because it felt like the right thing to do. No to buying gifts for people who don't want more stuff. Something shifts when you hit midlife. You start to really see how much stuff we all have. Every year, I used to run around buying little gifts for people I barely saw, neighbors, acquaintances, the cousins I only see twice a year, mug here, candle there, something cute that would make me feel like I checked the box. But I think most adults don't want more random things in their house. We're all decluttering, simplifying, and trying to keep homes from feeling overcrowded. And I realized I wasn't really giving out of joy. I was giving out of obligation. This year, if it's not someone I'm close to, or if they haven't mentioned something they generally want, I'm going to skip it. I want gifts to feel meaningful, not mandatory, and it feels freeing to let that pressure go. I would much rather get together with friends for coffee or have a nice dinner with extended family and catch up. And once I let go of the obligation gifting, it opened my eyes to another place that I've been overcommitting without thinking. The holiday baking marathon I somehow host for myself. No to treating December like the baking Olympics. No, I love holiday baking. The smells, the nostalgia, the memories of doing it with my boys when they were little. But at some point, December baking turned into a full-on competition with myself. Suddenly, I needed to make 6 different kinds of cookies as if someone out there was judging my holiday spirit based on the number of sprinkles in my kitchen. The ingredients alone could wipe out a small grocery budget. The specialty flours, the cute cookie cutters, the extract that cost over $8 and gets used once a year. And by the time the last tray came out of the oven, I was tired, cranky, and completely over it. So this year, I'm keeping it realistic. 1 or 2 things I genuinely enjoy baking or that my family really loves, like peanut butter blossoms and a few homemade candies. And that's it. And if we want more, the bakery down the road does an amazing job. I want my December to smell warm, not stressful. Giving myself permission to simplify the baking felt so good, and it actually made me rethink another area I've been overspending and overthinking every December: the holiday wardrobe panic. No to the holiday wardrobe spiral. Every December, I used to fall right into the trap. Maybe I need something new to feel festive, a sparkly top, a new sweater, or the classic matching pajamas that suddenly became essential and nobody else would wear. But here's what I've learned at 52. I know exactly what I feel good in. I know my colors, what fits my body, what feels comfortable, and what I actually wear more than once. So this year, I'm not buying outfits for imaginary events or hoping some new sweater will magically give me holiday spirit. I'm wearing what I already love: jeans that fit well, my Dunder Mifflin light-up sweater that the grandkids get a hoot out of, and cozy boots I can actually stand in. Maybe a necklace I already own, and that's it. I don't need to transform into a different version of myself just because it's December. I want to feel like me, just a little more festive. And simplifying my holiday outfits reminds me how much mental space I lose when I'm constantly being nudged to buy more, especially from the nonstop sales emails flooding my inbox. No to inbox guilt shopping every December. Every December, my inbox turns into a full-blown carnival. Flash sales, last chance offers, your cart misses you messages. It's endless and it's already starting. And if you're not careful, those emails can convince you that you're losing money by not buying something. But here's my new belief: if something shows up in my inbox, it wasn't something I needed in the first place. So this year, I'm stepping out of the cycle. I'm deleting the sales emails without even reading. I'm unsubscribing from the loudest stores, and I'm choosing what I bring into my home instead of letting marketing teams choose for me. I want to spend December doing things that matter, not scrolling through deals I'll forget about in 5 minutes. Removing that noise feels like taking a deep breath. It makes everything clearer. And honestly, I'm already calmer knowing my money and my attention are being hijacked by a subject line. Once I cleared out all that digital noise, it honestly became so obvious how often I take on more than I need to, like the crafts, the projects, the DIY chaos that mysteriously show up in my life every single December. No to hobby-proofing the holidays. There's something about December that makes me suddenly believe I'm a full-time crafter. A wreath? Sure. Homemade ornaments? Why not? The next thing I know, I'm buying ribbon, greenery, sparkly things, and some new tool I'll use exactly one time. But if I don't normally do crafts in March, June, or September, I'm not magically going to become holiday crafting Sarah just because the calendar flipped to December. In past years, I ended up with half-finished projects, a mess on the dining room table, and another storage bin headed for the basement. This year, I'm giving myself permission not to even start. I'm enjoying the crafts other people love to make instead. I'm leaving the wreath making and ornament painting to the folks who actually find joy in it. I want my house to feel peaceful, not like a DIY tornado just blew through it. December shouldn't feel like a craft fair I forgot to sign up for. Clearing out the craft pressure brought me face to face with the deepest one of all: that quiet expectation to create the exact Christmas I had when my boys were small. No to recreating childhood Christmas. For a long time, I felt this pressure to recreate the Christmas I planned when my kids were little. The scents, the outings, the exact traditions. It was like I believed a real Christmas meant going back in time, but life looks different now. My kids are adults, I have grandbabies, and we're all living our own version of the holidays. Trying to force those old traditions started to feel heavy, and honestly, it kept me from enjoying the moments right in front of me. So this year I'm letting Christmas evolve. I'm keeping the parts that still feel good, letting go of the ones that don't, and making space for new memories, memories that fit the family we are today. I still plan on going out with a coffee in hand and looking at the Christmas lights because I really love doing that, even if it means I do it by myself after running errands one early evening. It's surprisingly emotional, but also freeing. You don't have to recreate the past to have a beautiful holiday. But letting go of that pressure opens up space for something gentler, focusing on the small practical things that actually make December easier. These are the kinds of things I talk about in my newsletter. Have you signed up for the penny jar yet? If you love conversations about simplifying, saving money, and creating a life that feels good in your current season, I'd love for you to join us. The link is below, or you can find it with this QR code above. It's such a cozy little part of the internet. So here's what I'm saying yes to. Yes to consumables that make life easier. This year, instead of buying more things that take up space, I'm saying a big yes to the little consumables that make December feel smoother. You know the ones, the stuff that actually gets used, like the 90-second rice for busy nights, extra butter for baking I actually do, frozen veggies, or a real good chocolate bar for those quiet moments after the grandkids go home. These aren't splurges, they're small kindnesses to myself. They keep me out of the drive-thru, out of the overwhelm, and out of the feeling where dinner becomes one more stressful decision. Consumables don't need storage, they don't become clutter, and they don't stare at you from a shelf asking you to deal with it in January. Honestly, they just make life easier. And at 52, I'm all about making my life easier in ways that still feel cozy and intentional. Yes to $0 traditions that feel rich. Some of the best holiday moments I've ever had didn't cost a single penny. I told you about going to look at Christmas lights with coffee in hand, and the older I get, the more I want those types of traditions. Quiet, cozy, meaningful, and pressure-free. Like piling into the car with a thermos of coffee and driving around looking at Christmas lights with the grandkids, or watching my favorite Christmas movie while wrapping gifts on a folding table in the living room, or putting on a familiar Christmas album and just letting myself sit and drink holiday tea. Not multitask, not rush, just be there in the moment. These are the things that fill me up. They make December feel full without making it feel busy. They're the things I look forward to the most, not the expensive stuff I stress over. This year, I'm leaning all the way into the traditions that cost nothing but make me feel rich in all the ways that matter. Yes to one quality upgrade. If I've learned anything about frugal living, it's that buying better is usually more satisfying than buying more. So this year, instead of grabbing random holiday deals or impulse purchases, I'm choosing one single upgrade that brings daily joy. It might be the really good coffee I look forward to every morning. It might be replacing a worn out pan that drives me crazy every time I use it. It might be a candle that genuinely makes my home feel warm, not one that smells like holiday sugar berry driftwood swirl, whatever that is. Just one thoughtful upgrade, not 10 little things that add up to forgotten. It's a simple way to make December feel a little bit more special without creating more clutter or more decisions. One intentional upgrade feels luxurious in a way a cart full of random stuff just never does. Yes to protecting my peace. This one might be the most important yes of all because the older I get, the more I realize that peace is something you have to guard on purpose. It doesn't just show up, especially during the holidays. So this year, I'm saying yes to quiet evenings, slower mornings, cozy soft sweaters, and my favorite leggings, and not packing every single weekend with events. I'm saying yes to leaving early if I'm tired, yes to staying home if I need a break, and yes to giving myself permission to rest without guilt. I'm creating a December rhythm that matches the season of life that I'm in, not the season of life I used to be in when the boys were small and life was loud and chaotic. At 52, I don't need a busy holiday to feel fulfilled. I need a peaceful one. And protecting that peace feels like a gift I'm finally giving myself on purpose. The older I get, the more I realize that a peaceful holiday season isn't something that magically appears. It's something that we shape on purpose. And saying no to certain things isn't about being negative, cheap, or anti-Christmas. It's about making space for the moments that actually feel good. When you start letting go of the pressure, the rushing, the overspending, the expectations you didn't sign up for, you create room for the things that make this time of year truly special. The cooking with the grandkids, the quiet nights on the couch, the memories you're actually present for, not just the ones you orchestrate. So whatever season of life you're in, I hope you give yourself permission to choose what matters to you. Your holidays don't have to look like anyone else's. They don't have to be perfect. They just have to feel like home in the way that only you get to define. And if this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and watch this video next.